If you hear him before you see him meet, you got King Kong in the cage, and Alexander Romanov is back and hoping to stay undefeated, trying to get that 17th win. He's 16-0, and he's taking on our boy Marcin Tybura, who at 22-7 is honestly kind of a legend at this point. I mean, he's got 15 UFC fights, he's 9-6 overall, and he's got some solid wins. Right, he absolutely smoked the polar bear Sergey Spivak, beat Andrei Arlovsky, who has a ton of wins, especially recently, and also has nice wins over Maxime Grishin, Ben Rothwell, Greg Hardy, Walt Harris. I mean, the list goes on for all the nice dubs for our boy Tybura, and he's taking on King Kong Romanov, who is an absolute stud, right? He's 16-0, coming in off a nice, easy work finish over Chase Sherman. We obviously meatlocked that one, and that was an easy first round lock for sure. And he also has wins over Jared Vandera, Juan Espino in a very close, controversial fight. I sort of thought Juan Espino did enough to win that fight, but there was some interesting circumstances with a point being taken away and just a very, very close competitive fight overall against Espino. But nonetheless, Romanov got the W, and then he also has that beautiful finish over Rogério de Lima where he literally just put his forearm on the dude's neck, choked him out. It was really just an absolute bully choke for sure, and he's been looking pretty nice. So what are your thoughts on this one against Tybura? Because Tybura is the ultimate levels test, right? This is a guy who's super well-rounded. Early in his UFC career, I mean, he was knocking dudes out with head kicks. Like, he had some of the sickest strikes ever, but the last few years, it's turned into more like a clinch, grappler, trying to make it gritty, trying to make it ugly. So, what are your thoughts on this one against Romanov, who is a guy who usually goes in there and bullies guys? Is he gonna be able to bully Tybura, or is this gonna be a close fight?
Yeah, I mean, Romanov looks like Andre the Giant mixed with King Kong. This guy is built different, but that being said, he is the smaller guy. That's what's crazy is you look at March and you don't think of him as a big guy, but he's massive compared to Romanov. I'm very excited to see the face-off because that's going to show a lot on the size, if it's going to be a factor or if it's not. If it's going to be a factor, maybe Tybura can pull off this big upset, but I think King Kong is the next king of the heavyweight division. I think he goes in there and manhandles him. I think he's going to be the stronger, faster, better fighter. The only thing I worry about, and this is where Tybura always comes on top, is Tybura ain't no two-pump chump. He's a distance guy. He eats a bunch of shots, gets knocked out, psych, doesn't get knocked out. You gas out, then you lose. And that's the way I see Tybura getting this done. But I think it's going to end real quick, submission first round. I think King Kong is going to literally manhandle him, grab his arm, and rip it off and eat it on the grill.
And if he does that to Tybura, then this is a guy who, honestly, like you said, might be a future champ because Tybura is seriously tough. He's going to have the reach advantage. He's going to have the height advantage. He's going to have the weight advantage, which is pretty crazy because when Romanov, first debuted in the UFC, he had to cut down to 265, right? This was a massive dude, but as of recently, he's kind of reshaped his body a little bit, coming in a little bit more jacked and tan, and as a result, Tybura is going to have that weight advantage, which, like you said, I'm curious to see what it looks like, what they look like physically at the weigh-ins as well, because I feel like that might tell us something for sure, but nonetheless, Romanov, minus 325 is how Vegas is seeing it, plus 270 for Tybura, and if we look over at Tapology, 83% is rolling with Romanov, and it's pretty diverse, right? There's a lot of brown for that KO, a lot of copper for that submission, which is what you're bullish on, and then a decent sliver as well for the decision. Of the 17 rolling with Tybura, most of it is decision. There is some brown for the KO. Do you think there's any chance this fight goes the distance? I gotta imagine there's going to be some juicy odds for either guy winning a decision. Any chance that this fight goes all 15 minutes, or do you think Romanov really does make light, easy work in the first round?
See, that's the thing. That's the play I do love the most. Is I think this fight and the odds are going to be juicy for decision. I know it's going to be a small chance because one of these guys is probably going to finish the other. Most likely, King Kong gets the dub. But Tybura is a savage. He doesn't get finished easily. Alexander Romanov's never lost, so I could see this totally being a snooze fest, some other fest. Romanov gasses out after the first pump chomp and then just lays on Tybura for the next 2 rounds, gets a decision win. So I'm going with the decision, maybe a little side bet on the decision for Romanov, but for sure goes the distance. I will be hammering that. I really like it. I don't know the odds, but I just know they're going to be good. If they're not good, then I'm not touching it. They got to be really juicy, like plus 200 plus, I would say, for me to even get near it, because I could see a bizarre little decision.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the numbers look like for sure. So definitely something worth inspection later on in the week. But like you said, Tybura is pretty tough to finish, right? He hasn't been finished, in fact, since 2019. It was a YOLO punch from Augusto Sakai, first round, first minute. Just never really got going that evening. But since then, he hasn't been finished. I mean, and we know since then is when he rifled off that beautiful 5-fight win streak. And he did lose most recently to Alexander Volkov. And that was a tough fight. I mean, Volkov is a guy who is usually going to beat anyone who's not in the top five, right? He just really brings a lot of unique challenges that was way too much for Tybura to deal with that evening. But in this one meet, 17% rolling with Tybura, 83 for Romanov. But as a plus 270 dog, I think Tybura is getting this one done. I don't know. I just feel like he's going to be more well rounded. And once Romanov isn't able to like get that takedown, lay on him Snorlax style like he does to some guys, I think he's going to be defeated. And Tybura on the feet is very competent. I honestly think that for as long as this thing is on the feet, I think Tybura has the advantage. And I don't know. I am seeing Tybura win a couple rounds, maybe even get a late finish against a hopefully gassed out Romanov. But I think decision Tybura might be the play in this one. And I don't know, similar to Angela Hill as a sizable dog last week who cashed. I think Marcin Tybura might be a juicy meat value stake. So I have him giving Romanov his first L. But if Romanov is able to just go through Marcin Tybura, then for this guy, because a lot of respect for Marcin Tybura. And if he makes it look easy, then this is a guy people are definitely going to start avoiding in this heavyweight division for sure. So any last thoughts on this one?
No, I 100% agree. If he gets it done in light work, smashes Tybura. Tybura's kind of the new gatekeeper, I feel like. Only top 5, top 10 beat him. If he gets through that, sky's the limit, and I would love to see Romanov versus Aspinall. That would be a great one. But yeah, throw in the comments, meaties, who you got, King Kong or Tybura?